We welcome you to Arlington, Texas, where today, inside Globe Life Park, the Houston Astros and the Texas Rangers will wrap up the Lone Star Series for the 2017 campaign. The Astros 3 wins shy of 100 for the second time in franchise history, and the Rangers will not have a winning record for just the second time in the last 9 years. Best record in the American League? We know the Houston Astros will be the 1 or the 2 seed after the results of last night's play. They currently are 1 game behind the Indians. The Indians would win the tiebreak if the teams end up with the same mark. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Todd Callis alongside Jeff Blum. Our final game here against the Texas Rangers in 2017. And Blummer, while that rivalry is not that big of an impact for today's game in terms of the Rangers as they are eliminated, but there's still something for the Astros to play for, and that's that 1 seed.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing what we saw last night with the Minnesota Twins creeping back on the Cleveland Indians. And yes, there's plenty to play with. They knocked out the Texas Rangers completely out of the postseason, any chance. But now they have something to play for in that 1 seed.
It's interesting when you look at what's happened to the Astros coming out of the trade deadline on July 31st, and then after acquiring Verlander and Maben after August 31st.
It is amazing when we do look back at it. August was not a very good time for the Houston Astros. They had a lot going on. It's the dog days of summer. You saw them struggle a little bit. The bats went down. The ERAs went up. But these guys were also battling through some tough times with the travel due to Hurricane Harvey. But after that August 31st so-called trade deadline, they picked up Justin Verlander, and things turned around. And it's interesting. You expect the pitching to turn around a little bit because you add an ace like Justin Verlander, but it also helped out the offense. The numbers started to climb a little bit as far as runs per game. Everybody's spirits lifted, and now you can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Justin Verlander is in position to potentially be September's pitcher of the month.
No, he should be. I think he's gone out there and done a great job, and especially when you consider the spotlight that is on him coming over here to the Houston Astros. He had some life decisions to make in agreeing to that trade coming over to Houston, and it has paid off. He is pitching some very big games early on in his Astro career, and he's more than stepped up, leading these guys on the field. And we're seeing a lot of it, the repercussions of what he is bringing to that clubhouse, too. These guys are in good spirits, playing great baseball behind him.
His 5th and final regular season start, all coming against the American League West this year. When we come back, we'll tell you more about how the Astros have turned their fortunes around here at Globe Life Park, and also Julian Morales will join us next as Jose Altuve approaches another milestone.
The Astros look to sweep their division rivals in the Texas Rangers. And something good for everyone to see, except for the Texas Rangers, is Jose Altuve returning to the Astros lineup. He had a day off yesterday after being hit in the left forearm by a pitch on Monday night. Had to come out of that game, dealt with some soreness, but back at it, ready to go. The irony here is he sat and had to watch his team collect 18 hits last night, while he only needs one to reach a milestone he has reached the last 3 seasons. He is going for 200 today. It's what to watch for here at Globe Life Park, and you better be in your seats because he's coming up here pretty quickly. He is attempting to become the first to lead the league in hits for 4 straight seasons. That's the entire league, and he's trailing Charlie Blackmon there, so got some hits to make up as well. But his next hit would become the 36th player with 4 straight 200 hit seasons, as well as becoming the 4th right-hander with 4th straight 200 hit seasons as well, and his company there being former Ranger Michael Young as well as Kirby Puckett. So some good hitters as Jose Altuve, just 27 years old, debuted in 2011. Got a lot of baseball left to play. We could see a few more of these for him, but definitely it would be a huge accomplishment when it does come. And you know he wants it to come and be over with, so he can move on and start thinking about the team and what they have planned here in the next couple of weeks. TK?
All right, Julia, we are in our seats because Altuve will be up before you know it. He couldn't be much closer to reaching 200, especially the other night when he had that little soft line drive, a great catch by Rougned Odor at second base, and then had a ground ball that could have been ruled a hit, but it was overturned on review before they ruled it a hit or an error. George Springer will lead things off for the Houston Astros today against the Texas Rangers. Final game of this 3-game series. The Astros already wrapping up the silver boot for the year, winning the Lone Star Series presented by the Texas Lottery. And George he's been due for a leadoff home run. We haven't seen one since June 28.
Yeah, we need him to light it up. Put a lot of pressure on the guy, but usually when Todd goes out there and demands things of guys, they usually step up. Talked about Marwin Gonzalez, Yuli Gurriel, these guys trying to get to 300, and they have. Now you're looking at George Springer in his last 3 games going 4 for 12. He's scored 5 runs. That's what you want to see out of your leadoff man. We are spoiled having a guy like George Springer, who is a legitimate 5-tool player, able to go out there and run the bases, play a great defense, hit for average. But yeah, the pop has not been there, but at the same time, he's not in panic mode. He's still getting on base and putting himself in position to score those runs for the guys behind him.
I think he's being approached differently too in that leadoff at bat, because guys usually just pour that fastball over on the first pitch of the game, but we're seeing a lot of guys go to off speed against Springer because he can ambush so well. Speaking of Springer, the Astros starting lineup presented by Southwest Airlines, with George right at the top. Still has those 9 leadoff home runs, although none since late June. Already in a great mood today are Bregman and Springer. Alex Bregman bats second. Jose Altuve, as you heard from Julia, 1 hit shy from another 200-hit season. Carlos Correa will bat in the cleanup spot. Marwin Gonzalez plays left field today. Brian McCann, because he got lifted from the game early last night, is back in there day game after a night game. Carlos Beltran is the DH. Yuli Gurriel at first, and Tony Kemp a chance to play center field in bat 9.
Nick Martinez going for the Texas Rangers. Last time the Astros saw him, it was on that August 31st date. It was in Tampa, now that I remember that. And he went 5 innings. He ended up taking the loss. He only gave up 2 earned runs. Gave up a home run in that game. In his career against the Houston Astros, he has a 3.28 ERA. But this season, the Astros have gotten to him. He's pitched in 19 2/3 innings against the Astros. He's given up 20 hits and 10 earned runs. In those 20 hits, 6 of them have been home runs.
And behind Nick Martinez today, with the Rangers being eliminated from any chance of the postseason, you see some familiar names, but also some guys getting a chance to play, like Willie Calhoun in left field. You also have Brett Nicholas behind the plate and Drew Robinson at third. The familiar names, DeShields, Mazzara center and right, Andrus and Odor are in the middle of the infield with Joey Gallo at first and Nick Martinez on the mound. Adrian Beltre been nursing that hamstring. He's out of the lineup. Carlos Gomez has been nursing sore ankle. He's out of the lineup. As George Springer will lead things off, and we are underway on a Wednesday afternoon. Only baseball game in the major leagues going on right now as Springer takes one inside for ball 1. George scored a couple of runs last night. In the process, he passed Jose Altuve for second in the American League in runs scored. Into center field, Springer on with an early base hit Just like last night, the Astros start with a leadoff runner on. Thumbs up action from Springer.
It's a good sign.
There were some comments from Alex Bregman and others in the Astros clubhouse after the game last night, as Springer gets this ball in the center field, basically saying that was as much fun as they've had all year, and maybe this is the right time that they are peaking. As 5 games to go, you want to be at your best in October, and the Astros have scored 25 runs in the first 2 games here in Texas. Bregman swings the first pitch and sends one to left. Calhoun drifts back on it. He is called off at the last second as Delino DeShields, a.k.a. Kelly Leak, takes over and makes the play.
He got it. You take it.
That was right out of Bad News Bears.
That was excessive.
I mean, the left fielder hasn't played a whole lot of left, Calhoun, but maybe they told DeShields to get everything he can reach.
It kind of makes you wonder if they did. You're right. Playing a straightaway center field, ranging far to his right. Sometimes when you're playing on a team that's been knocked out of contention, you're going for arbitration numbers, but that was extreme.
So Delino taking control on that fly ball for the first out. And here is Jose Altuve. Check of George at first.
Getting back to Alex Bregman's comment about them having fun. Usually when you're having fun, you are relaxed, and that is a good mode to be in for these guys heading down the stretch with 5 games left and looking forward to the postseason.
You could see how relaxed they were in the on-deck circle before the game started. Bregman and Springer having a good time. Pitch is low, and George has had to dive back to first a couple of times. Altuve sat last night out, nursing that little contusion on the forearm, and watched his team compile 18 hits without him and score 14 runs. Trying to get to 200 hits for the 4th consecutive season. Takes a called strike. Altuve hasn't had a whole lot of success against Nick Martinez. 5 for 23 lifetime. Does have a home run against Nick, and it came this season. Altuve matching his career high with 24 home runs. Down to the count, 1-2. We know Altuve is going to lead the American League in batting. We know he's going to lead the American League in hits. We know he's going to get to 200. Having said all that, he'd like to get to 200 as soon as he possibly can. He has a 10-hit lead on Eric Hosmer for the most hits in the American League with 5 games to play. Inside on Jose, it's 1-2. Jose's numbers impressive all the way around, but on the road in particular, he has been in a different league this year. 388 on the road. Next closest average in the American League is 328 in the road batting average. There goes Springer. The pitch is a base hit to right field. Springer will get to third. Jose Altuve with his 200th hit on the season, 4 consecutive seasons, and the Astros bench shows their love for their MVP. Standing ovation from the top step as Altuve has done it for 4 consecutive years.
Congratulations, Jose Altuve. It's a great run he is on. You know, you hear him talk about the team primarily throughout the course of the season, but here late in the season, he turned his focus towards that 200 hits, which is okay, because usually when he's getting hits, his team is going well. But truly an accomplishment that he wanted. 56
years of Astros baseball. 200 hits has been accomplished 5 times. 4 by Jose Altuve, 1 by Craig Biggio. He's getting 200 hits at such a regular clip. We're going to start to call him Jose Al 200. One of 4 right-hand hitters with at least 4 straight years of 200 hits in the history of the game. And he becomes the 36th player in MLB history with 4 straight 200 hit seasons.
Incredible stuff. He's only got to do it for 20 more years. Maybe 16 more years to get to 4,000 plus.
36 players now with 4 200 hit seasons overall. Next year, when he gets to 200, that club will be down to 20 players. And 3 right-hand hitters with the straight consecutive seasons.
Is that what you consider elite?
Yeah. Last guy that did so as a right-hand hitter played here with the Rangers, Michael Young, 2003 through 07. Kirby Puckett prior to that, and Al Simmons back in the late 20s and early 30s.
Harry Heilman didn't do it.
No Harry Heilman references today for you, Plummer.
Finally, Altuve's played well enough to get rid of Harry Heilman.
2-1 pitch. Correa fouls back.
Here it is, number 200. Runner on the move, second baseman covering, and of course Altuve going the other way, using that open space to create the 200th knock. He is just a chameleon in the batter's box. He can go deep, he can punch you the other way, he can turn on you, he can lay down a bunt, he can beat out the infield hit.
And he can win MVP.
He will.
There he goes. Ground ball right side. The Astros again to perfection with a runner on the move. Correa hitting behind Altuve. It's 1-0 on the RBI by Carlos Correa.
Contact, 2 strike counts. These are just happenstance that you have the second baseman covering and guys are able to go the other way. But that's just beautiful 2 strike hitting going the other way by Carlos Correa and Jose Altuve. They can go out there and bomb you, but until they start to do that, they will just peck away if they have to, and they're doing that right now against Nick Martinez by creating all kinds of traffic on the base paths.
Correa with 3 hits and 3 RBIs last night, picking up another RBI. He's now up to 78. He's about to join the quartet of Astros hitters in the 80-plus RBI club, including the guy who leads the team and runs batted in, Marwin Gonzalez, at the plate now. Marwin has 86. Takes a pitch down and away. It's 1-0. Marwin on a nice run, 8 for his last 12 over the past 3 games. Has that average up above 300 at 302. Correa with the 4 hits in the last 6 at bats has his average up to 304. Marwin around the bunt takes it up high, and it's 2-0. .2-0 and 2-1 counts have been absolutely Marwin Gonzalez's wheelhouse this year. 2-0 counts, he's hitting .533 when he puts the ball in play on a 2-0 pitch. And even if there's a strike involved and he gets to 2-1, that average is .531.
Wow. Primarily fastball counts. Marwin rages on the fastball.
He takes a strike, so he's at the 2-1 count now, so he loses just 2 points off that batting average from .533 to .531. Been quite a year for Marwin, a career year, and a year where on a lot of different teams he would probably be the team MVP. He happens to have the league MVP as his teammate, so that doesn't help. .2-1 is chopped high in the air towards first. They're going to make the play to first. No, they're not. Gallo spun around and was going to flip the ball. It's kind of an awkward play. Altuve crosses the plate, and it's a 2-0 Astros lead.
go down as a hit. And it's all about location on some of these hits early on for the Houston Astros. And it was interesting all the way around. On our matches from Supermo, you could see that Nick Martinez is trying to avoid the behemoth of stature of Joey Gallo in order to get to first base, and then he forgot where it was at. Wow.
Like he ran a pass pattern and never looked back at the quarterback.
Got to look for that shovel pass.
Well, it's not been the best defensive series for the Texas Rangers.
Ooh.
Here's Brian McCann. So Marwin adds to that total of hitting in a 2-1 count. Even though he chopped one towards first, it goes as a hit. Here's Brian McCann taking one inside for ball 1. McCann allowed Blummer to make his cannonball call last night, hitting one into the second deck.
Let's do it again. Nice warm day.
He's got an 868 OPS since coming back from the DL with that right knee injury.
It was a good look at that McCann ball last night. This is picture perfect swing on a picture perfect fastball, and he barreled it up nicely. He knew it was gone. It looks extra special here in Arlington too. Launching it up into that second deck, much to the delight of those Astro fans up in that second deck.
Here's a strike from Martinez. It's 2-1. McCann with 16 home runs on the year and 60 runs batted in. Two and two the count. Astros out in front today 2-0. That is nothing new. They are a plus 36 in the run differential column in the first inning. 92-56 coming into this game. McCann goes down swinging against Martinez. That's the second out of the inning. Runners on first and second now for Carlos Beltran. Beltran playing in his 2,584th game. He breaks a tie with Steve Finley, 44th most games ever played in the history of Major League Baseball. Pitch misses. Beltran also coming in tied with Cal Ripken Jr. for 24th in the extra base hit column. Up next for Beltran in the games played list all time, Willie McCovey, 5 games away, now 4 after today. Outside to Carlos, it's 2-0. That website you see at the bottom left portion of your screen is something that is very important to Carlos Beltran, the Carlos Beltran Foundation, everybody involved with the Houston Astros. We saw Carlos speak on that last night in a very emotional interview. So if you do want to help out those that are suffering in Puerto Rico, Carlos Beltran is doing his best to raise funds for the Hurricane Relief Fund down there.
And a lot of credit to the people last night who were watching the game that did jump up and donate. There was a nice little push during that game. Keep it coming.
Beltran towards second. Rougned Odor makes the play. And the Astros are done in the first, but not before. They score 2 runs on 4 hits and lead it 2-0. 2-0 heading to the bottom half of the first inning. And here's how Jeff Bannister will line things up on this final game between the Rangers and the Astros in 2017. Delino de Shields leads off in center field. Shin-Soo Choo will DH today. Elvis Andrus the shortstop. Nomar Mazara is in right. Joey Gallo at first base batting fifth. Rougned Odor at second. Then Willie Calhoun, Brett Nicholas, and Drew Robinson.
Justin Verlander on the mound for the Houston Astros. Been a good start to his Astro career. He's having himself a pretty good season also on top of it, making his 33rd start between the Detroit Tigers and the Houston Astros. He is at that 200-inning mark with 208 punch-outs. His career ERA here at Globe Life Park is a 3.80 in 7 games started.
Verlander has never worked with a lead in the first inning as an Astro. Usually they take their time scoring runs for him, and it hasn't mattered because Verlander has been that good. It'll be the final regular season start of the year for Justin Verlander. And he could very easily, if he finishes strong with a good start today, take home American League Pitcher of the Month. Line up to Shields, 4 for his last 25. He hits the ball in the left field. That'll be a base hit. Marwin plays it on a couple of hops into Shields, a leadoff base runner in the first.
I feel like he's giving him a hit to the leadoff man in every start he's had for the Houston Astros, but it's almost as if it makes it bad because he shuts it down the rest of the way.
We saw that in a couple of starts against the Angels. Cole Calhoun had a double, and then he didn't give up another hit for the next 24 outs. And then when the Angels came back into town, Calhoun had a single. And then Verlander didn't allow another hit the rest of the way either. So today, if the form holds,
yeah, just get that hit out of the way and move on.
Like, look, I don't want you guys talking about any no-nos. First batter gets on, rest of the way. So the 2 Angel starts, leadoff hitter on, 24 outs without a hit, then 21 outs without a hit. He's only allowed 5 hits in his last 3 starts combined.
Two for 45 is a pretty good batting average against.
Yeah, that's not too shabby.
If you're into that.
Last 3, he's 5 for 67. That's 0.75.
Wow.
Yeah, that's getting it done. Choo, one of a number of left-hand hitters in the lineup today for Jeff Bannister. He is loaded up with lefty hitters. Only Elvis Andrus and Delino de Shields swinging from the right side. So hitters 4 through 9 in the lineup today, lefties for the Texas Rangers. If you check out the splits for Verlander on the year, it skews to where the lefties have hit him a little bit better. As an Astro, the numbers are dominant against right-hand hitters. They are 3 for 59 in his time with the Astros in 4 starts. Make that 4 for 60 after the hit by de Shields. Popped out of play. It's 2-2. Justin did appear here as a member of the Tigers on August 15th. It was the only one of his last 15 starts in that start here at Globe Life Park where he allowed more than 3 runs. Six innings, 8 hits, 5 runs allowed against the Rangers in that start in August.
Pattern is to stay inside on Shin-Soo Choo, tie him up.
Verlander, you see the whiff percentage on his pitches this year. He has really been letting that fastball eat lately too. He gets Chu there on the first strikeout of the game.
It's a perfectly located slider down and in. Get the swing over the top. Good look at the release, creating that spin.
Chu actually went down underneath that baseball.
Boy, he was probably saw it inside an anticipated heater. He was swinging at 95 plus on the inner third and then got out ahead of it.
Here's Elvis Andrus. Verlander moving from the American League Central to the AL West. So he'll have to get adjusted to pitching in a little warmer temperatures in this division. Day game here in Arlington, 86 at game time. But I would think he would trade that off for some cold days in April in Minnesota and Cleveland and Detroit.
Even Detroit, yeah.
And Chicago.
Yep. And guaranteeing every home start he has, he will make that start and play. Because that roof at Minute Maid Park, which is very nice.
The only team I didn't mention of those AL Centrals for potential cold weather is Kansas City. And a couple of years ago, when I was with the Rays, it snowed during a game. We got snowed out in May.
Awesome.
May. So, yeah.
Happy Cinco de Mayo.
AL Central, you got some weather issues. AL West.
Not so much.
Line drive over the head of Altuve into right field for a hit. The Shields, with good speed, will get first to third on the single by Elvis Andrus. So Verlander, who had dominated righties, has allowed 2 hits to righties here in the first inning. Now he will face 6 lefties in a row.
Just off the outside edge, according to our MD Anderson strike zone. Elvis Andrus not trying to do too much. Takes it off the end of the bat, shoots it the other way, and the speed of Delano to Shields gets an extra 90 feet. Combination of speed and the ball not being hit that hard.
There's Nomar Mazara. Mazara last 15 games hitting 173 overall in the year. 253 average. .96 swing and a miss, 0-1. Astros with the win last night, improving to 97 and 60 on the year. Second most wins in franchise history, matching the 1999 team. And only the 98 102 win team ahead of them. Currently, the Astros can still get there this year if they win their final 5. Also a 3-2 mark the rest of the way for A.J. Hinch will put his team at triple digits in the win column for the second time ever. There's a strike, 1 and 2. Little traffic in the first inning for Justin Verlander. Delano to Shields a single to left. Elvis Andrus a single to right. Andrus on the move. Pop up. Altuve drifts back. The Shields tags, but no chance to go anywhere on that pop up. Big out for Justin Verlander and the Astros, 2 away.
Got a chance to watch Justin Verlander pitch now, this being his 5th start as an Astro. I think we can qualify him as a finisher. We look at his September numbers, we look at what he's done in the postseason, and we watch some of his games. The first 2 innings, it feels like he's kind of getting a feel for the mound. He's getting a feel for what the stuff he has that day. And then by the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th innings, we see him just with wipeout stuff. But he's one guy that you see in the first inning, and you see him throwing 16 pitches, pitching out of traffic, like you're saying. It's not really a panic button being pushed at all.
Joey Gallo, the batter. Verlander making his 385th career start. 380 with the Tigers and his 5th start with the Astros. And he delivers a strike to Gallo, 0-1.
Those numbers jump off the page when you look at him on the Astros roster. There are guys in the Astros clubhouse who are trying to establish themselves as big leaguers. You get a guy like Justin Verlander, those numbers pop.
And then when you consider the innings pitched this year, that no one's going to qualify as an Astro pitcher this season. Mike Fiers the closest. He only went over 150 innings. Not only does Verlander qualify every year, he goes over 200 innings every year. Had one injury-plagued season where he didn't get to 200, but other than that, you could pretty much lock him in for 33, 34 starts and 200+ innings. He started the day with exactly 200 today. In 2015, he fell shy due to injury. A right tricep strain put him on the DL for a couple of months, but other than that, after his rookie season, he has pitched 200 innings every other year, beginning in 2007. Ahead of Gallo, 0-2.
Staying away from that fastball, going to the off speed, a couple of breaking balls to get ahead in this count. A little more traditional over the top 12-6 breaking ball.
Inside for a ball, 1-2. Good to see Brian McCann catching Verlander for the 5th consecutive game. How one game blends into the other. Had McCann not left the game early yesterday, he may not have caught day game after a night game. Astros with a big lead were able to get McCann out once Dallas Keuchel left after 6 innings. Swing and a miss. Verlander picks up a strikeout as he works through a 1st and 3rd 1-out situation.
To throw a couple extra pitches, but he made him look good. Nice down and in slider on Joey Gallo.
and Rangers for the final time in 2017. They will also kick things off in 2018 in exactly 6 months and 2 days. The first game of the 2018 schedule will be played in March next year.
Not that anybody's counting, Todd.
Well, I've got my pen pocket schedule, so I can give you
your pineapple pen pocket schedule.
Yeah. March 29th, a 4-game series with the Rangers. Before returning home to raise a banner while the Orioles are in town.
You look so cool doing that.
First 3 months on one side.
It's double-sided?
Mm-hmm.
I thought we were only playing a 3-month schedule next year.
Rangers for 4 to start the season. If only the Rangers could have been there when the banner goes up.
And we finish on the road again next year?
Yes, in cold climates.
Come on.
Next season we'll wrap up in Toronto for 3 and then Baltimore for 4.
Man, what's up with the East Coast? We need to talk to the commissioner and get these home games to finish off seasons.
Yuli with a slow ground ball toward short. Andrews with the play. In fact, Blummer, if you want to take it a step further, the four visiting cities, the Astros do not play an AL West team on the road next season in September. The 4 visiting cities they will go to in September: Boston, Detroit, Toronto, and Baltimore.
You know who's going to be super stoked about that? One Julia Morales.
Cold weather?
Oh, man. For a month, 2 road trips, going to the East Coast to finish off the season in September. Yeah, that's going to be wonderful.
So stoked.
Wait, you don't like warm weather?
Warm? Which one of those cities is going to be warm?
No, that's what I'm saying. Why is she stoked that we're not going to warm climates?
Because she loves packing multiple suitcases full of layers. It's a little bit of sarcasm in there.
Tony Kemp to center field.
I don't have enough jackets for that.
I need to get Todd some coffee.
I'm not quite at the same level.
I have over boogied. Yes, I have.
Todd doesn't know that every time I go to a cold city, I have to buy an extra jacket and an extra scarf and usually extra gloves.
So this trip, you had Texas warm, 88 on Monday, 87 last night, 86 at game time today. How many jackets do you have for the Boston series?
I think I brought 5.
No, you did.
For 4 days.
Did you really?
Mm-hmm. Because I usually end up wearing 2.
Well, and I think the big difference is Julia tries to coordinate, whereas Todd and I don't.
Ground ball towards short. We may have to have this cold weather discussion in another inning as a quick 1-2-3 inning for Nick Martinez as he gets through the second. Astros still lead 2-0.
Astros have a 2-0 lead over the Rangers. Justin Verlander back to work, who said before today's start, told us yesterday that he can't imagine a better start in a Houston Astros uniform. Really happy with what he's been able to do. Of course, clinchmas or clinch day for the Houston Astros was a very exciting one for him. And for anyone coming over to a new team, there's a little bit of pressure to make that immediate impact. So he's definitely done that. And he looked back at his entire 2017 season, guys, and looked where this year kind of started for him. Of course, he hopes to have a long way to go, but was really working on trying to figure a few things out. Didn't feel good on the mound for the first half, but right around the All-Star break, and the numbers show, things started to fall in line for him, and the changeup has been a work in progress for him, and now that's coming along. So feeling really good about where he is at this point of the season. Like I said, wanting a few more starts, though, under his belt before this year's all over.
Yes, I think we were all looking forward to a number of starts in October from Justin Verlander. You mentioned that changeup. He threw some good ones in that last start to Cole Calhoun. And if he can add that changeup to the mix, today could be a good test with 7 out of 9 hitters batting from the left side. We'll see if Justin breaks out that changeup much today. He's ahead of Rougned Odor 0-2.
It'll be interesting to see when he breaks it out. Does he break it out when he's ahead? Does he break it out when he's behind? Does he do it the first time through the order? Does he do it the second time through the order? Does he, keep it as a surprise pitch? Right now we're seeing early on that the slider's been effective to some of these left-handed hitters. The breaking ball has been effective. But you're right, he's going out there on the attack to win this ball game, but it also could be a situation where he is trying to work in that changeup and get a feel for it and work with Brian McCann to find situations to use it.
Fastball's fouled away off the front of the ESPN broadcast booth.
There's 2 ball players in there and they both ran.
Aaron Boone and David Ross, along with John Boog Sciambi up there. Boone, he bailed, didn't he?
Yeah, him and Rossi, catcher, he didn't even go to block it.
1-2 pitch, foul tip, swing and a miss. Odor now 0 for 16 in his career against Justin Verlander. He's a strikeout victim to start the second.
Back to what Julie was talking about, starting out their Astro careers, some aces in the past. Nolan Ryan, Randy Johnson, Roger Clemens. Roger Clemens, the only one to match the record, but the ERA clearly decisive in the direction of Justin Verlander with that 0.64, 32 punch outs and those 5 walks. Randy Johnson had more punch outs at 36.
Willie Calhoun, the batter. 1 out, nobody on. You cut off those starts at the last 4 for Verlander, but if you took it back another one prior to joining the Astros, he went 6 innings of 3-hit, 1-run baseball in that start.
Maybe that's the one that sold Mr. Luno.
That was in Colorado, too. Calhoun gets into one deep to right field, and Willie Calhoun has his 2nd major league hit and his 1st major league home run, and he will always be able to say it came against one of the game's best as he takes Justin Verlander deep to right field to make it a 2-1 game.
That slider's been good early on. That was not a good slider. Or was that the changeup? Kind of had that fading look to it at 88 miles an hour.
I think you're right. That was a change.
Elevated.
Back-to-back changeups against the rookie Willie Calhoun, who hit 31 home runs for Round Rock this year and hits his 1st major league home run. Here's Brett Nicholas. Nicholas fouls one away. Oh, we wondered when we'd see him break it out. He chose the rookie, and the rookie took care of a changeup that hung up there. It was only the 3rd run scored against Verlander in his Astros career, and the 2nd home run allowed. The other was against the Mariners in his 1st start when Kyle Seager hit one out. Foul at the plate. It's 1-2. And a little discussion with the home plate umpire, Chris Guccione.
It's that professional courtesy, giving Brian McCann a little bit extra time to regroup after the foul tip.
Swing and a miss. McCann's going to have to make the toss down to first, which he does to retire the opposing catcher. 4 strikeouts for Verlander, and there's 2 away in the second.
That was a filthy breaking ball from Justin Verlander to get that punch out. You really never want to be the guy that hits behind the guy that just hit a home run off of a guy like Justin Verlander, because all that does is tick him off a little bit, and he tries to take it out of the next guy like he did on Brett Nicholas.
Here's Drew Robinson. Mentioned all the lefties stacked up in the lineup, and Jeff Bannister trying to play the odds against Justin Verlander with 7 left-hand hitters. But I've also heard pitchers say occasionally that can get them in a rhythm when you face that many guys consecutively from the left side. Facing 6 straight hitters batting left-handed. Don't see that very often. It's 1-1.
Yeah, this is pretty extreme. And that rhythm you're talking about, it's almost as if every guy looks the same. They're standing in the same spot, almost the same position. You're just pitching to a different body type. Because we've seen a pretty intense amount of pitches, good pitches, when he's on, locating inside on some of these left-handed hitters. But once he finds that release point, then he can be really consistent with it. Sorry.
Oh, you're good. Chance to strike out the side in addition to that home run in between. And he gets a foul out of play. Astros playing their A lineup today with Justin Verlander on the mound. And AJ said for the most part, until things are decided, either between the Astros and Cleveland for the #1 seed, or their next opponent, the Boston Red Sox, trying to wrap up the AL East, until things are decided, he's going to play them all as straightforward as he can, trying to win every game. And at some points he's going to try and give guys rest, but he'd prefer to do that if things are already determined in the AL seedings.
I think that's one of the issues when you're a manager of a team who clinches so early, is trying to keep these guys engaged down the stretch. But in having these smaller races as far as best record or second seed has really helped AJ keep these guys engaged, because it shifts the focus. You clinched, okay, what's next? Our next goal is to go out there and be the best team in the American League. So he can shift that focus a little bit so that they're not going to back off, but they're not going to be as focused and go out there and be a little more selfish in some of the ABs. But it's keeping the group engaged.
Good at bat here by Drew Robinson, the #9 hitter, continuing to foul off 2 strike pitches, and lays off that pitch down and in. It's 2-2. Three hits allowed by Verlander. That matches the highest total of hits he's allowed in his last 3 starts prior to today. A couple of singles in the first and a solo home run by Willie Calhoun in the second. And Robinson stays alive. Verlander 20th career start against the Rangers. ERA right around 3 during that time. A little higher here at Globe Life Park than at Comerica Park in the past. Foul tip caught by McCann. That'll do it for the Rangers. 3 strikeouts for Verlander, but a home run in the middle. Jose Altuve, now part of the 200 hit club for the 4th consecutive year. He'll be due up second in the 3rd.
Chevy Stropole. You're following us at ATT Sportsnet SW. You can find it and vote. How many hits do you think Jose Altuve will have by the end of his career? The hit he had today gives him 1,246. So 2,500, 3,000 plus, 3,500 plus. Is he going to be a 4,000 plus hitter?
What's he got, 1,000, just over 1,000 hits now?
1,246. He got his 1,000th career hit at Minute Maid Park last year. A lot of hits.
I was looking for another choice. 1 billion, gazillion, trillion.
If you ask him, that's his goal.
Yeah, that's what he's aiming for every year.
Alex Bregman leads off. Yeah, it's nice when your low water mark on that Stropole is 2,500.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I'm going, wow. 2,500. Well, you can mark that off the list. He's going to get it.
He's pretty good. Alex Bregman pops one. Foul territory, giving it a look, but running out of room is Joey Gallo. Nick Martinez in his 3rd inning of work came back after allowing 4 of the first 5 to reach base. He's now retired the last 5.
Well, can't you? Well, he has 6 years in the league and 1,200 hits.
Mm-hmm.
So in 6 years, he's going to be at that 2,500 mark easy.
That'll be relatively young still.
So he just has to do that for another dozen years at that clip. Get to 5,000. There you go. Got it. I need to vote. I'll be right back.
5,000?
Yeah.
You're going 5,000?
Yeah, why not? If he keeps up this pace, why not? 2,500 hits every 12 years. Let's go. He's going to play for 25 years.
Pop up the 3rd, and there's the first out of the 3rd inning.
You don't think so?
I never want him to stop dreaming, but 5,000?
Come on. You're right. He might tail off and get 4,500.
Here's the last 4 years. 4 years plus this year.
It's incredible. 4 years
plus this year.
Yeah, over 1,000 hits.
That's good.
Yeah.
Altuve with a single to right his first time up for hit number 200 on the season. And he fouls one away. It's 0-2. Altuve singled and scored his first time up. George Springer also scored a run his first time up, so those two continue to battle side by side. Springer with 109 runs, Altuve with 108, 2nd and 3rd in the AL in that category. Robinson backs up on a couple of hops, throws out Altuve for the 2nd out. Now Nick Martinez has found his groove a little bit. He's retired 7 in a row.
And the speed is what makes me curious about Jose Altuve, because that might be the first thing that goes for Jose Altuve, or what we've seen in hitters in the past who have speed as a value. As you get a little bit older, you lose a step, because Altuve, I say it all the time, that speed doesn't slump, and Altuve is one of those guys that's able to sneak out some hits every once in a while when he is slumping via the ground ball. Those add up.
He just set a StatCast speed record.
That's right.
In his last game, or his last homestand rather, against the Angels on a bunt base hit, and he ended up slowing up going into first base and still set a StatCast record. Carlos Correa takes it right. Here it is.
Yeah, this is pretty impressive. At contact, they start that clock, and he is off like lightning. And you're right, the last 3 or 4 steps really backed off the gas pedal a little bit.
So he's left himself a margin to beat his own record.
There you go.
The fastest time ever from home to first was on that bunt base hit. Here's a single the other way. Could be a double as it heads towards the corner. Carlos really busted it out of the box. It's good to see him easily get into second base as Mazara plays it back in. Correa now with 5 hits in his last 2 games, over 7 at-bats.
He's halfway to that natural cycle. Base hit in his first AB. Double that second AB going the other way. And you're right. He had every intention of getting 2 bases out of this hit right out of the box. He was getting it.
Yeah, it's good to see that swing back, using all the field. Correa now back up to 306. He had dipped below 300 for a little while there as he had struggled coming off the DL. He may be getting hot at the perfect time. Here's Marwin Gonzalez. Marwin with an RBI base hit his last time up. Drove in his 87th run of the year. Looked like for a while the Astros wouldn't have any 90 RBI guys this season, but Marwin is 87 with the rest of today plus 4 games to go. What a year it's been for Gonzalez. Marwin out in front there. It's 0-2. .74 of his 87 runs batted in have come as a left-handed hitter.
Majority of switch hitters, ABs, come on that left-hand side. It was kind of fun yesterday to watch the Astros beat up on a very good left-handed pitcher in Cole Hamels, trying to alter that record a little bit.
On the ground, playable. Gallo to Martinez, and they worked that out better than they did last time Marwin hit one over there. And that's the final out of the third. It's still 2-1 Astros.
Astros bases loaded. We celebrate the American League West Division Championship with interviews from the team and look ahead to the postseason. All that and more on Astros bases loaded only on AT&T Sportsnet.
We do know the postseason schedule in terms of home and away. We don't know start times yet. We don't know opponents yet. But 1 week from tomorrow at Minute Maid Park, the Astros will host game 1 of the ALDS, either as the #1 seed or the #2 seed, depending on how things play out between the Astros and the Indians in the final 5 games. Lionel DeShields with a single, his first time up, leads things off. Two right-hand hitters are 2 for 2 today against Justin Verlander, and so far first time through the lineup, the lefties are 1 for 7 with 4 strikeouts. Called strike. It's 1-2. Astros have the final game of this series against the Rangers, then 4 with Boston, 2 night games and 2 day games at Fenway Park. The day game on Sunday a little later start, as everybody in the major league starts at the same time for game 162.
Why is that, Todd?
So there's no competitive advantage if a team clinches and another team is playing later that night. You can rest your players. If a team needs another team to lose and they have an early game and the team ahead of them has a night game, then a little competitive advantage for that later start team. Shields reaches out towards left. Marwin coming in, and he makes the catch. Waiting for the signal for a while from Carlos Torres, the third base umpire. Marwin ended up making a nice backhand catch.
He didn't really exactly sell that to the umpire. He was kind of charging in, indecisive on whether or not he was going to lay out or make that backhand grab.
Ooh. Close.
It is close. Usually you see the outfielder pop up, show the ball to the umpire and say, yeah, I got that. This would be a good look at it.
I think that's a hit. I think that hit the grass.
I thought it was initially a hit just from our vantage point up here behind home plate.
Well, it's maybe saying he didn't see it so well, but they're not going to challenge. How about that?
They're not?
If I'm the Rangers, I might look at this one.
You got to look at that one, don't you?
You look at it.
We did. Why are you yelling at me?
Sorry. Well, the Astros will take that out.
Yeah.
I'm pleased that there was no review there. 0-1 to Shin-Soo Choo.
Yeah, I really don't feel that the leather got underneath. Huh.
And another strike to Choo. When Choo struck out his first time up, it was the 29th time he struck out in his career against Justin Verlander. Now he's got way more plate appearances against Verlander than most pitchers, but by far the most strikeouts. I mean, no one is even close to striking Choo out more than Verlander in his career. He's ahead 1-2 here.
That was a changeup.
So he is going to try and work that changeup in, kind of an experiment day. Rangers not playing for anything, and Verlander has allowed a home run on the changeup for the only run of this game for the Rangers. Follows the changeup up with a fastball at 96 in on him.
Had a conversation with Steve Sparks about Justin Verlander, and that was one of the things that he's been working on with Brent Strom is that changeup. Had one, but wants a better one.
Well, it's never really been a big pitch for him, and you would hope that, you know, if he can add that to the repertoire, as good as he's been lately over the last 15 starts. And it's something, if you throw it now, you can throw it and gain some confidence, so you can throw it with a little more conviction in the postseason. On the ground, foul.
The changeup is something we talked to him about yesterday as well, and he said in that last start it's the best that he's felt about it in his last start for the Astros. But when he came over here, he went straight to Strami about it, and I think that's something to be noted, is that he was the one asking for help, a guy that has so much knowledge and experience and didn't really know Brent Strom at all when he showed up. Put his trust in him, and they started to go to work.
Choo strikes out against Verlander for the 30th time in his career as he goes down for the second out. Well, that's one thing that AJ's been impressed with as much as anything is Verlander's adaptability and how much he really is trying to learn from a new staff.
No, he really is willing to learn. He's getting a lot of information from the Houston Astros. He's getting a lot of information from that guy right there, Brent Strom. It's about as relaxed as you're going to see Brent Strom.
I didn't even recognize him. 6 of the first 8 outs for the Astros via the strikeout as Verlander delivers a strike to Elvis Andrus. I guess when you have Justin Verlander on the mound, you can look like that as a pitching coach. Here's a little flare into right center field that will drop in. Because if there is a pitcher on this staff who has been through it and done it pretty much every scenario in his career, it is Justin Verlander. 385 starts in now. Strami, AJ Hinch, the whole staff, they'll have some decisions to make as to who will be joining Justin Verlander and last night's starter Dallas Keuchel in the postseason rotation. Keuchel, another great outing last night. He said he feels like he's in midseason form. We saw him as good as anybody prior to the All-Star break or prior to the injury in Kansas City. And if Dallas is back to that guy, combined with what Justin Verlander's been doing lately,
let's go.
Let's get this postseason rolling.
And the offense clicking the way it is. Watch out.
Because to be perfectly honest, there were points during the month of August after the trade deadline passed where this team didn't feel like it had the momentum going to do any damage in the postseason. Completely different feel now. Correa was hurt for part of that stretch. Springer was hurt for part of that stretch. Some disappointment lingered initially after the July 31st trade deadline came and went. But then all of a sudden August 31st came around and welcome Justin Verlander, welcome Cameron Maybin, and welcome a whole new team in the month of September.
Yeah, it kind of blew a hole in the theory that one guy, the theory that says one guy can't improve an entire ball club. Is it just the move itself inspired these guys, and then the addition of all of the attributes that Justin Verlander brings with him is double bonus.
And we're seeing the entire starting core talking for 9 innings on the bench. It may not be about baseball for 9 innings, but just the fact that they're out there having a conversation.
Nobody can talk about baseball for 9 innings.
We do. No, we don't.
I was waiting for you to say that.
Sometimes.
We try.
Sometimes we get carried away into other tangents. I'll have to go back on, speaking of tangents, maybe not in this scenario with 2 strikes and 2 outs, but I want to go back and ask Julie at some point in the broadcast how she just mentioned nonchalantly she brought 5 jackets because she knew she'd wear 2.
Yep. Options.
No.
Hey,
as guys, if we would bring 2 jackets to wear 2 jackets. You
yes.
don't bring 5 and then pick your top 40%.
It'd be a black one and a gray one because they go with everything.
There you go. Runner on the move and it's fouled away.
But now that I am a father of 4 girls, I know what that means when she says I packed 5 to wear 2. I get that.
We are going to be in Boston for 4 days. 5 jackets in 4 days. It's hard to.
It makes perfect sense.
Does it? Okay,
yes.
I'm sorry.
No, I get that.
I usually wear one and then I've got one over my legs and then I've got another one wrapped around my shoulders. Sometimes I'm really cold and one jacket just isn't enough.
Again, you got to have options, right?
I've got to have several options.
Swing and a miss as Verlander gets Mazzara for the final out of the 3rd. So a base hit, 1 man left on base. It's 2-1 Astros.
the days where the Astros struggled at this ballpark are behind them. After what they've done here in 2017, 6-2 this year, looking to make it 7-2 with a win today. But 15-16, 4-16, and then you see the numbers there below the run difference. My goodness, the team ERA and how far that has come this time around. But this club was sick of answering questions when it came to why can't you win in this ballpark. And if you look back to some of those games, they were very disappointing losses, very close losses, frustrating for this group. So was there a mental hurdle? They were asked that, and they would tell us no. And then this time around, AJ was asked about it the other day. Do you feel like you've flipped the script or flipped the narrative? And he said, yes, but finally can we move on? He didn't feel like it was a mental hurdle for them. It was more just beating this team and taking a division from them after they had it the last couple of years. So that was the biggest thing for this club. They feel really good about what they were able to do at this ballpark against this team. But really, this is about the AL West and what they were able to accomplish there.
Yeah, and it's great to see this team turn things around, especially in this ballpark where things did not go well at all for 2 years. But then you look at the guys in the lineup today, and Alex Bregman was there for part of the year last year. Same with Yuli Gurriel. Brian McCann's new. Carlos Beltran's new. Justin Verlander doesn't know anything about the Lone Star Series. So you're bringing in some other guys that it's kind of refreshing that they don't know the history of bad baseball here in this ballpark the last couple of seasons.
Yeah, there's a reason why they were asking that question all the time, because it was that atrocious every time they came through here. And Julia's right. There were games where they would score runs, and you wouldn't assume the win, but you would say they've got a very good chance going into those later innings, and then it'd be a bloop here, bloop there, and error, and all of a sudden a home run, and the Rangers would be back in it, and it wouldn't end up being the Astros' way. So that's why the question continues to be asked.
Well, the Astros took it to the Rangers this year, winning 6 of the first 7 games, securing the silver boot with the win here on Monday. They're now 11-7 on the year against Texas. McCann continues to foul pitches back. We always heard about Brian McCann and how he works at bats, and to see it on a regular basis, and who knows what this at bat's going to end up being, but continues to add pitches to the starter's total with 2 strike foul balls, and he does it again. And there's nothing that has changed more dramatically for this Astros team than the strikeout totals from year to year.
Absolutely.
On from one of the worst for the last half dozen years to the best in baseball by a large margin. And McCann draws the walk after all that. Really good start to the inning by Brian McCann. And is the first walk issued by Nick Martinez. It's kind of been the MO for him this year. His walks are down from last season by about half. He walked about 4.5 per 9 last year, and this year it's a 2.3. Strike to Beltran. Carlos grounded out his first time up. Beltran gets one more home run in the course of the final 5 games. He will move the Astros into a tie for a major league mark. Most players in a season with 15 or more home runs, currently sitting at 8. A number of teams, including this year's Rangers, have 9 players who have hit 15 or more home runs. Carlos sitting at 14 and still is after he goes down swinging. That is the second strikeout from Martinez in his first since the first inning. I'll bring up Yuli Gurriel. Yuli with a team high 40 doubles. 8th in the American League in that category. Picked up his 40th double last night. Part of a 2-for-4 night. Into right center field, pretty well hit. Going back, Mazara to Shields, and it is one hopping off the fence. McCann heads to third. He will be held. Yuli Gurriel with his 41st double of the season.
Nice rip by Yuli Gurriel going the other way. Astros adding to that extra base hit total, and Yuli adding that double total.
Mazara thought that ball was either going to go out or go off the wall.
I'll tell you what, initially off the bat, I thought it was going to jump, because that's typically a spot in this ballpark where there's a little bit of a jet stream, and it's windy today. And I wonder if it kind of moved a little bit and pushed that thing a little more towards right field. Ball was smoked pretty good.
Now the infield will come in with Tony Kemp at the plate. You know, I'm always doing the 300 watch. Yuli now has to go 6 for 15 to get to 300 to wrap up the season.
Gosh, you were greedy. I like it.
Kemp getting another chance to start. Played left field in last night's game and now center field today. And I think basically this is coming down to the final spot in the roster in the postseason. AJ giving Tony Kemp to show what he can do. Last night he reached base 3 straight times. Now he's in an RBI situation here. Fouls one away. All 4 of his hits as an Astro this season, 4 for 27, have been singles.
I agree with you. See if Tony, he's playing center field today, played left field the last couple games. Left-handed bat, kind of a pesky AB. Had a great year in AAA. You're just hoping it translates here in the big leagues, maybe push him onto that roster.
We've seen Derek Fisher get a number of starts, but now Kemp getting back-to-back starts. Tyler White in the mix. J.D. Davis a possibility. More than likely 2 of those names will be on the roster in some form. And Kemp, a good eye, now has a count of 3-1. Tyler White.
T-Dub.
You going T-Dub?
Sure. Some good ABs.
3-1 pitch is fouled away. It's 3-2. And I don't think the fight for the last roster spot is lost on these guys. I think they know exactly what's happening. AJ's pretty transparent with the media prior to the games. And that's how it should be. I mean, they should know that each at bat matters. Kemp drives in 2 here. That's a big AB and a big push for him to get on the postseason roster. Ground ball. There's a base hit. Yuli held up, and he will get to third. RBI base hit by Tony Kemp as he drives in his 2nd run as an Astro this year. It's now 3-1.
Good job, TK.
Thank you.
No, the other TK.
Oh, yeah.
Good job. And a fastball up. He actually gets on top of it. Tomahawks that through that 4-hole on the right-hand side with the infield drawn mildly in. Shoots it past him, gets that RBI, and pushing Brian McCann across home plate. Astros looking to keep things going here with the top of the lineup coming up.
Kemp can steal you a base too as they check him on first. Astros tack on a run and lead it 3-1. George Springer has singled, scored a run, and grounded out. Ground ball towards third. Robinson to second for one. Odor turns the double play on Springer, and that'll do it for the Astros in the fourth. They do add one run and lead it now by the score of 3-1. The fourth inning, Justin Verlander back to the mound with a 2-run lead. He'll face all lefty hitters in this inning, as the first 5 are lefties. Starting with Joey Gallo. Gallo likes to pull the ball, Blummer.
Yeah, let me help you out. So a majority of his ground balls and line drives are going to be on the right-hand side. We've seen some pretty drastic shifts, and the Astros are one of the teams that are going to be a little more aggressive as far as where they play a number of their guys, and that is why you're seeing some of these mega shifts played against guys like Albert Pujols and namely Joey Gallo in this situation where everybody is going to be on the right-hand side of that field except for Marwin Gonzalez, who will hang out by himself on the left-hand side.
Verlander delivers a fastball outside for a ball. We have never seen this before until Monday night when Gallo batted for the first time with 4 on the right side of the infield. Correa and Altuve are in shallow right. Gurriel and Bregman are on the infield.
And basically the only reason Alex Bregman is where he is at is to cover anything that is softly hit in front of Altuve and Correa.
4 infielders all on the right side. First time I've ever seen this.
It's like they're playing over the line.
Try to hold up. He checks his swing, and it's 2-1.
I don't think you should have to check the swing. That is a good pitch. We've seen several pitches from Justin Verlander on the inside corner, whether it be a fastball or that breaking ball, that are inside, not getting the call from Chris Guccione.
Verlander starting his 8th game of his career with Guccione behind the plate. His previous 7, he has issued 17 walks, about 2.5 per game. The time that they did this on Monday, Gallo hit one about 400+ feet into the bullpen in left center. Now the count's full. That's one way to crush a shift.
Is this baseball's version of the prevent defense?
It's I can't stop watching that side of the infield. Doesn't matter. They didn't need any infielders there. The only strange thing is Brian McCann has to throw the ball all the way towards center field after a strikeout. McCann came out of that strikeout. Normal, the whip around goes to third. And he's like, where's my third baseman?
Yeah, he's got to break out the Cobra to get that ball to go around the infield. You talked about that rhythm with those left-handed hitters, and he has done a very good job with that slider on the inside third. And here's Brian McCann going, wait, oh man, I gotta step into this one.
It's like, I need a 60-yard throw now.
He thought about relaying it through Verlander.
That is 8 strikeouts for Justin, and a breaking ball for a strike on Odor. You know, the added lefties helped for one batter, Willie Calhoun hitting a home run. But overall, they are 1 for 10 today with all 8 of Justin Verlander strikeouts. The righties are 3 for 4. Only lefty that's put the ball in play is Nomar Mazara, and he popped up to Jose Altuve. 1-1 the count.
Second pitch was up a little bit, but still catching enough of the plate. I think it'd be called.
We've seen unusual patience out of Rougned Odor in this series.
It has been amazing.
It's almost like his whole demeanor this series is, I'm going to try and see as many pitches as possible, because he rarely walks, and he walked 3 times, a career high on Monday. Now we're seeing him take pitches that are close, and that one was in the zone at 1-1. Now he swings and sends a high fly ball on the right. Altuve is back there. But so is Springer, and George calls off his buddy for out number 2.
Somebody finally called off Altuve.
Huh? My space. Yeah. It's my turf.
Beat it, kid.
I love this team.
I do too. These guys are highly entertaining. How about Altuve's reaction? He's like, really? You're going to call me off? You throw it around. Yeah. Claiming his territory. Got a turf war out there in shallow right.
2 outs. How about that? Somebody called Kelly Leak off a pop-up.
Yep, beat it, kid. This is mine.
Poor Altuve.
Guess Altuve's only adorable to us, not George. He's annoyed.
It's like, you can have any of those pop-ups near the infield.
Yeah.
This is my space.
He's got personal space issues.
2-0 the count to Calhoun. Calhoun hit the home run his first time up, and now he sends one on the line into center field for a base hit. So Verlander's been able to dominate every left-handed hitter in this lineup, with the exception of Willie Calhoun, who's now 3 for 18 in his career, including 2 for 2 today.
Hit the changeup early. This time he got the fastball and hit that. So good showing for Willie Calhoun against one of baseball's best.
Here's Brett Nicholas. Nicholas struck out his first time up. 5 hits allowed by Verlander. Most hits allowed by Justin in his previous 4 starts with the Astros is his initial start against the Mariners in Seattle. He allowed 6 hits in 6 innings. Eight strikeouts today for Justin. That's at least 6 strikeouts in 14 consecutive starts.
It's amazing how easy it is to overlook numbers like that when he's got so many other good numbers to go with it. That's a pretty good stretch.
He did have a 10 strikeout game against Seattle a couple of starts ago. That's his high as an Astro, and season high is 11 back in June against the Mariners. Pop up on the infield, Yuli or Altuve. Altuve gets called off twice in one inning. You won't see that very often as Yuli takes this one and flips it to Altuve after the final out. We're through 4 in a 3-1 game. Sportsnet is presented by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. By HEB. No store does more than my HEB. And by the all-new 2017 Nissan Titan with America's best limited truck warranty. See dealer for warranty details. Guys felt bad for Altuve after that inning.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
No, they didn't. They were laughing at him saying, you got nothing, and you're going to like it.
Springer and Correa kind of consoling him on the way to the dugout as Altuve got called off 2 pop-ups in that inning. Here's Alex Bregman to start the 5th.
Poor guy.
200 hits a year, poor guy.
Yeah. Tough to be him.
Bregman with a 2-0 count, grounds one towards short. Andrews makes the play for out number 1.
Houston Methodist is going to bring us our league leaders. Jose Altuve coming up. Since 2013, 1,017 hits. Batting average at .324. Scored 450 runs. 191 stolen bases. The OPS at .842. Leads Major League in hits since that 2013 mark by a pretty wide margin, too.
Over 100. He could decide, you know what, next year I'm going to start playing at the All-Star break and still have that lead.
Yeah.
That's how far ahead he is of the next closest hitter. It's remarkable, the consistency. 200, 200, 4 straight years. One of now 11 hitters for 4 consecutive seasons of 200 or more hits, as he singled his first time up. The list includes the other 3 right-hand hitters we told you about: Al Simmons, Kirby Puckett, and the Rangers' Michael Young. It also includes Ichiro, who did it a Major League record 10 straight years. Wade Boggs, 7 straight. Paul Wainer, Charlie Gehringer, Chuck Klein, and Jack Tobin. Bill Terry also. Altuve becomes the 11th player in Major League history with 4 consecutive years of 200 hits or more. Deserved a hit there, but he hit it towards Elvis Andrews, who made a nice pick on the backhand for the second out of the inning. Join the Astros behind the scenes at Minute Maid Park with an Astros ballpark tour. The tour lets you check out areas like the broadcast booth, press box, dugout, scoreboard control room, and more. Visit astros.com/tours to book your tour today. We don't necessarily need a tour, but we're going to get to be fans here a week from tomorrow.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
It would be nice to be covering the games, but it's going to be fun to show up as a fan.
Game 1 of the ALDS a week from Thursday, a week from tomorrow at Minute Maid Park. Watching Carlos Correa and the boys take on, who knows, right now maybe Boston, but it also could be a wild card team if the Astros end up with the #1 seed. Second wild card team is close to being decided. The Twins have a magic number of 1. Any Twins win in their final 5 games, or any Angels loss in their final 5 games, and Minnesota will be the second wild card team, taking on the Yankees at Yankee Stadium if the Yankees don't catch the Red Sox. 0-2 the count to Carlos Correa. Carlos with a single RBI his first time up, also doubled. Both of his hits have been to right field. Martinez allowing 7 hits and 3 runs to this point. Has not won a game against the Astros this year, carrying a 4.58 ERA into this game. In 3 starts and 1 relief appearance. Correa deep to left field. Will it stay fair? This ball's gone! Carlos Correa matches his career high with his 22nd home run. Also did it in his rookie year in 2015. He is 3 for 3, and the Astros lead this game 4-1.
How did he hit that? How did he keep it fair?
I think it surprised him. He stayed at home plate for a while, not thinking that ball could be fair.
How quickly he pulls his hands to the inside corner. That is well off the plate. Granted, it's off speed. It looked like a hanging fork ball or a changeup. But his ability to pull the hands in on those inside pitches and get the barrel to it is maybe the best in baseball for me. It's incredible how he does that. I know Miguel Cabrera up in Detroit does a good job. But if he doesn't pull the hands in as far as he does to get the barrel to it, that ball doesn't stay true and straight. It turns into one of those snap hook line drives into foul territory.
#1 is heating up. Look out, postseason teams in the American League and the National League for that matter.
Yeah.
Because if this guy is getting hot, that's when this offense really clicks. 2-0 the count to Marwin. Marwin sends one to left. Calhoun is there, and he will put it away for the final out. But Carlos Correa, with his 22nd home run of the season, gives the Astros a 4-1 lead.
Supreme talent doing supreme things. Change up in off the plate. He yanked it down that line, kept it fair. He's #1 on the field. He's #1 in our hearts. The Astros commemorative brick program. Fans can purchase a brick with customized messaging that will welcome fans into the ballpark each season. Order your commemorative brick now at astros.com/bricks.
Justin Verlander working with a 4-1 lead, bottom half of the 5th inning, facing the number 9 hitter Drew Robinson. Then the top of the order, Delino DeShields and Shin-Soo Choo, and delivers a pitch outside for ball 1. Justin had thrown 76 pitches in the first 4 innings, a little bit higher than he's accustomed to. And he throws a lot of pitches per game. He's second only to Chris Sale in that category, right around 107 pitches per start. With the Tigers, he was around in the high 17s pitches per inning. But with the Astros, he's been at 15 pitches per inning in his first 4 starts. Today, a little bit higher than that. There's a strike call, and it's 2-1. Robinson struck out his first time up, one of 8 strikeouts for Justin Verlander. If Verlander gets the start in game 1, he'll be working on extended rest either way. But he's a guy who's been through this in the past. Maybe he'll throw an extra bullpen session just to stay sharp. Earliest he would start would be a week from tomorrow. He'll be working with 7 days or 8 days rest, depending on who A.J. Hinch gives the ball to for game 1. Pitch misses down and in. It's 3-2. And Dallas Keuchel, who pitched last night, may not make another start. Could see an inning or so in Boston on that final day, which would be his 5th day after pitching last night. There's a ball hit deep to right field, and that will be gone. Upper deck shot for Drew Robinson. His 6th home run of the year in 93 at bats. And it cuts the lead down to 4-2.
You get back into a fastball count, sit fastball. You get it. Key is not to miss it. Drew didn't miss it.
I don't know if you noticed on that M.D. Anderson strike zone, but there was only 1 pitch outside of the zone in a 3-2 count.
Yeah, I know that I can't imagine how Justin feels about it, but I know that there have been a lot of pitches on that inside corner. Just if you're going to pick one side of the plate that have not been called for him, he's been pounding that inside zone. I think he could be in a lot better shape if that opened up a little bit and he was getting the benefit of those calls that are actually on the plate. But it's interesting, too, that you don't really feel or sense or see that he's getting frustrated. He just continues to attack and go after the zone that he has to work with on any given day. But it's got to be frustrating.
Yeah, he has not had any edges on the plate at all today. Has not gotten the benefit of calls that could go either way. Delino DeShields has singled in 2 at bats. Round the bunt, takes a breaking ball for a strike. It's 1-2. That's part of the reason why we've seen the pitch count climb up a little bit on Verlander today, up to 85 pitches as we play in the 5th. DeShields couldn't hold up. Verlander picks up his 9th strikeout as he gets DeShields for the first time.
Good pitch by Justin. Bouncing back after giving up that home run.
He's had 4 starts this year with 10 or more strikeouts, including his first start of the season, opening day against the White Sox in Chicago. Choo pops one foul. Bregman a look, but that will be out of play. Choo has struck out twice today.
punched him out twice on down and in sliders. See if he does it right here with 2 strikes. It's an 0-2 count. He does have a pitch to waste and try and maneuver into a situation where he can use that slider. Will he do it, or will he just go right after it?
HOU stays alive with a 1-2 count. 176 career hitter against Justin Verlander, and has struck out 30 times in 74 bats. HOU goes down for the 3rd time. That's 2 outs in the inning, and Justin Verlander, for the 5th time this season, has himself a 10 strikeout game.
Some jet fuel up in the zone.
Ten strikeouts, matches his Astros high in 5 starts. Also struck out 10 Mariners back on the 2 starts ago, back on the 17th. Here's Elvis Andrus. Andrus has a couple of hits. Of the Rangers' 6 hits, Andrus has 2, and the rookie Willie Calhoun has 2. Swings at that fastball at 96. It's 0-1. Justin starting out those first 4 starts with the Astros at 4-0 with a sub 0.7 ERA. He became just the 5th pitcher since 1920 to have those kind of numbers with a new team. Jordan Zimmermann off to a great start last year, as Verlander's teammate was one of the other 4. Also Tim Wakefield, Fernando Valenzuela, Boo Ferris back with the 45 Red Sox. So just the 5th guy to start out with that kind of 4-start record, Justin Verlander. Giving up a couple of home runs today, but some solo shots, and leads this game 4-2. In the air, shallow right. We've seen Springer and Altuve converge earlier. This time Altuve backs off and gives way to George for the final out of the inning. So we head to the 6th in a 4-2 game. 2018 Coca-Cola Shooting Stars team. As a member of the Shooting Stars, you'll be an ambassador for the Houston Astros brand throughout the year. Visit astros.com/shooting stars for audition info. Astros leading the Rangers 4-2 as we head to the 6th inning. Carlos Correa with a 3-for-3 day, including a home run and a couple of RBIs. Correa now with a 6-for-8 mark his last 2 games with 5 runs batted in. Here's Brian McCann leading things off and taking a called strike. It's 0-1. McCann playing the day game after the night game on a warm day here in Texas. He had gotten to the point last time in town where his right knee was barking a little bit. In addition to the heat and humidity here at Globe Life Park, McCann ended up going on the DL. Couldn't play through that knee injury anymore, and that 10 days of rest has really seemed to rejuvenate Brian as he sends one into right center field for a base hit. McCann, a leadoff base runner, he's on for the 2nd straight time after walking and scoring a run his last time. But McCann may be excited to learn that if he stays in this division long enough, he may see eventually a roof as Globe Life Park turns into Globe Life Field beyond the right field wall starting in 2020. Tomorrow's the big groundbreaking ceremony at 1 o'clock.
Looks eerily similar to someplace we know very well, Minute Maid Park. There's a little bit of a reason behind that. I believe that I caught word that the architect or engineer, whoever designs these things, is the same one that worked on Minute Maid Park. So if it worked for Houston, it's going to work up here, and it'll be much to the delight of fans, I'm sure, as well as players, to have that roof on this thing here in Dallas, or in what is close to Dallas.
And not only do you deal with the heat, but there could be some really gusty winds here too.
It's a good jet stream out there in right center field. Are you kidding me?
2-0 pitch is a base hit for Carlos Beltran into right. Now McCann and Beltran leadoff base runners for the Astros in the 6th inning as Nick Martinez approaches 100 pitches. And as we say that, Jeff Bannister's out of the dugout, taking a slow walk to the mound. The Rangers do have bullpen action up. Tony Barnett, the right-hander, has been loosening up, and Bannister's going to go to his pen. So Martinez's day ends after 5 innings plus 2 batters. We'll come back after this to tell you about the new Rangers reliever in a 4-2 game. Two runners on and nobody out in the 6th inning. A.J. Hinch's team against the AL West this year, looking for the 50th win of the season within the division. And Blummer, that is quite a turnaround from a few seasons ago.
Yeah, there's been a lot of turnover on that roster, a lot of patience by fans and coaching and front office, waiting for some of this young talent to get to the big leagues, and it has paid off in a big way this year in 2017. 2013, which was Julia's and my first year with the Houston Astros as far as broadcasting. And they only won 25 games in the division. Fast forward to this year, 49 games, going for 50 here in Arlington. That's a pretty impressive way to have a good turnaround. And what you've got to do in order to win your division is win in your division.
50 wins, the most in any division this year. The Indians have a chance to get there. They're 46-25. They would have to win 4 of their last 5. The Nationals right now are the next closest with 47 wins within their division. But the Astros, with a win today, would wrap up a 50-26 season in the AL West as Yuli Gurriel faces the new pitcher for the Rangers, right-hander Tony Barnett.
Tony Barnett throws his fastball around 93, but he is heavy on that cut fastball around 89, 90 miles an hour. Also has a split-fingered fastball and a curveball.
Facing Yuli Gurriel, who takes a pitch at the knees on the corner. That's a pitch Dallas Keuchel has not, or excuse me, Justin Verlander has not had called a strike today. It's 0-1.
Beautiful day for sleeves and a mock turtleneck.
How about it?
Wow.
50th appearance for Barnett.
He's trying to make weight.
That's what it appears. Upper 80s today here in Arlington, and now after Gurriel had that first pitch called a strike on him, he chases that one. It's 0-2. Yuli's faced Barnett 3 times, has a couple of hits, including a home run. Astros with 10 hits today after 18 hits in last night's game. And in scoring 4 runs today with that Carlos Correa home run in the 5th inning, they have set a new major league record. As they have scored 866 runs, the most in major league history, without any player driving in 100. Passing the record set by the 1922 Pittsburgh Pirates. 1 through 9, we talked about it all year. Not 1 or 2 guys driving in 100. It's 70 here, 80 here, 60 there. Gurriel has driven in 72. And after getting down 0-2, Barnett now has a full count.
Missing terribly out of the zone a couple times. But the Astros are taking it to a whole nother level as far as team offense, to what you're talking about, not having anybody in that 100 RBI range, yet leading the league in runs scored is pretty incredible. That's what gives them a lot of hope going into the postseason, is the depth of their lineup and the ability to drive in runs from everybody.
It's very rare, and we've seen James Paxton do it. We've seen a couple of guys do it, but it's very rare to see starting pitchers get through this lineup with success 3 times. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah, it's tough to do. And if you do, you're going to be exhausted by the end of it.
I know the Indians have had some success this year against the Astros. They have pitched better than anybody else against Houston this year, but that has been the exception more than the rule. Gurriel swings and fouls one at the plate. Stays 3-2.
Those numbers you're talking about as far as runs scored, their RISP number is 292. RISP with 2 outs is 288. Both those numbers are a major league best.
And those numbers have gone up in this series. 29 runs so far in 2.5 games. Close pitch. Yuli draws a walk. So the bases are loaded with nobody out in the 6th inning. Like Yuli taking a close pitch at 3-2.
It was a good AB. Fell behind early, but didn't give in, protecting the zone and laying off those outside.
For Gurriel. That is his 21st walk drawn of the year. Here's Tony Kemp, another RBI opportunity. Drove one in last time. Had runners on second and third and one out and singled into right. Rangers bring the infield in this 4-2 game. Kemp into right center field. That'll be a base hit. 1 run scores. Beltran will go second to third and hold up as Kemp back-to-back at bats with RBI base hits. Tony Kemp trying to make a push for that postseason roster. It's now 5-2.
Good batting, smart batting. After walking Yuli Gurriel, he is aggressive on the fastball early, gets it, rips it into right center field. That was a solid AB right there for Tony Kemp in an RBI situation.
Still nobody out, and George Springer will bat with the bases loaded. George has singled, grounded out, and grounded into a double play. Over a 300 career hitter with the bases loaded, including 3 slams. Springer high fly ball center field to Shields all the way back to the track to the wall, looking up, gone! Grand slam! George scores 4 as number 4 hits his 4th grand slam of his career, and the Astros breaking this one open. It's now 9-2.
Silver booting that ball out of here to right center field.
'82, '83, '84, and '85 in the RBI department as he jumps in just 1 behind Marwin Gonzalez now for the team lead.
And you want lousy leadoff solo home runs. Gosh, George was waiting for the right moment to get on the board. That's that jet stream in right center field that I'm telling you about. The ball flies that way.
Bregman now with a base hit. He's now 4 for 6 in his career against Barnett as the Astros have had 6 consecutive hitters reach base in the 6th inning.
I feel like Barnett has worn the brunt of a lot of Astros abuse, but that was a cutter elevated out over the plate. George barreled it up. He knew it was deep enough to get at least 1 run in, but as it tailed towards that bullpen, plenty of distance to get out and turn into that grand slam. 105 miles an hour off the bat, 35-degree launch angle, estimated 411 feet.
The 35-degree launch angle had me a little concerned. I thought he hit it too high to get out.
What do you mean it's too high? Who cares? It's out of here.
0-1 to Altuve. Astros have scored 11, 14, and now 9 runs in this series as they are absolutely pummeling the Rangers in the final series of this Lone Star set presented by the Texas Lottery. It has been all Astros. Now pitch gets away and Bregman will advance to second. After the last 2 years where the Astros had very little success in a 10-28 mark against the Rangers, they have not only turned the script around, but they are putting an exclamation point on this season series in the final 3 here in Arlington.
34 runs in this series so far. Still a couple innings to go. Nobody out in this inning.
Altuve only has 2 hits in this series, and they have 34 runs. Didn't play yesterday. guy behind Altuve has something to do with that, Carlos Correa. Two and two the count. Altuve today with his 200th hit of the season. He's also grounded out a couple of times. Jose looking for his 59th multi-hit game of the year. Grounds one towards short. Bregman will head towards third, where he will be retired as Andrews throws him out. Altuve lives on the fielder's choice.
Carlos Correa has been pretty good. This is a bat the Astros need to get going here late in the season. He is a force the last 5 games, including today. He is 10 for his last 19, 5 runs, 4 doubles, 8 RBIs, a bomb in his last AB. Things starting to turn around a little bit for Carlos Correa since coming off the DL with that thumb injury. He's getting more comfortable, having better ABs, and that is a huge bonus for this Astros offense.
Carlos with a ball into right field, bidding for another. Yes, he did! Carlos Correa! Can you be any hotter? Back-to-back home runs. 7 hits in the last 2 games. He drives in 2 more. And the Astros in double digits for the 3rd straight game in Arlington. It's 11-2.
And just in case you're wondering, he's still got some of that Oppo pop, or as we like to call it, the Oppo taco.
My goodness, what is going on?
I don't know, but I like it. Rockets.
The 2 outs Correa has hit into the last 2 games have been line drives. His last 9 at-bats have gone double, line out, single, double, line out, and today 4 hits, including 2 home runs. New pitcher, we'll tell you about him when we come back.
Astros lead it thanks to Carlos Correa's 2nd home run of the day. He is having a day, and Correa's been good since the day he showed up to the big leagues, but it's been fun to watch him mature as a hitter, and he admitted to some of the things that he's learned as far as approach and how that's changed over the years. His first year being that 2015 club, and when it comes to that lineup, there were a lot of home runs, but there were also a lot of strikeouts. We've talked about that a lot, and he said that, you know, I've started looking at my OPS, and I wanted to get on base. I wanted to draw the walks, and that led to him becoming a better hitter. It all worked together for him, and here he is a couple years later, this being a really important time for him to feel good too. You can imagine the confidence is going up with each one of these hits and home runs for him here lately. But a good sign for Correa, who's come a long way in just his couple of years in the show. TK.
Correa with a new career high, Julia, with his 23rd home run, hitting back-to-back home runs, 4 for 4 today. And he has driven in 4 runs after a 3-hit, 3 RBI performance last night. He is having himself a week and a half in 2 games. Here's Marwin Gonzalez. Marwin hasn't had a chance to drive in many runs because the guy in front of him keeps hitting home runs. Marwin is 1 for 3 today with an RBI infield hit his first time up. New pitcher for the Rangers. 3rd pitcher of the game, 2nd reliever, is Austin Bibbins-Dirks. Tony Barnett came in and allowed 5 of the 6 hitters to reach base, including that closing home run by Carlos Correa to right. 3 of the 4 hits by Correa today have been to right field.
Needs a triple.
That one too far.
That's his bad. Last time he hit 2 home runs in a game was that game right before the All-Star break when the Astros scored 19.
Marwin hits one well to right field, but Mazara's there. Marwin hit it on the line, but he is out number 2.
These Texas Ranger outfielders are finally getting the memo. Play with your back on the wall.
Well, Bibbins-Dirks will face Brian McCann, who is the 10th hitter of the inning. McCann led off with a single. Astros scoring 7 in the 6th today. They scored 5 in the 5th last night. And they scored 8 in the 4th on Monday night. They have had 3 separate innings in this series with 5 runs or more. McCann scored a couple of runs in this game, 1 for 2 with a walk, a single, and 2 runs scored. One to 2 to McCann with 2 outs. When this series started on Monday night, the Yankees had already played a day game against Kansas City, but they had moved to within 4 runs of the Astros for the most runs in baseball. And now the Astros have the advantage in terms of playing the day game, and the Yankees play tonight. But now that lead has gone from 4 runs to 34 runs. On the ground, past Odor into shallow right center field, off the glove of the Rangers' second baseman. So McCann is on base for the 3rd consecutive time.
It's another error on Rougned Odor.
McCann will probably be in the same situation he was yesterday, in that he'll play as long as the starting pitcher's in the game. A day game after a night game, McCann running the bases now 3 times in the span of 4 innings. And here's Carlos Beltran. More than likely, we will not see Brian McCann in the lineup tomorrow. Here's Carlos Beltran fouling one back. Beltran singled and scored his last time up. He's 1 for 3. Rangers do have 6 consecutive left-hand hitters due up in the next inning, and Francisco Liriano is warming up in the Astros bullpen. Perhaps Justin Verlander's day in an 11-2 game, and his final regular season start may be over. But if that was the case, I'm surprised they're not running for McCann here and taking him out of the game.
I'm with you on that. And A.J. Hinch is next catcher.
Maybe he'll give Justin another inning. We'll see. Justin still looks like he's in pitching mode.
I would say he's not talking to anybody. That's usually a key.
Slowly hit towards Andrews in the shift. Elvis makes the play. And after 11 batters, the Astros finally retired, but a 7-run 6th inning.
It was a big inning. George Springer with that big hit. 4th career grand slam by George. All have been on the road. Then it was Carlos Correa hitting his 3rd multi-home run game of the season. 6th in his career. Astros offense exploding here in Arlington.
Bottom of the 6th, you're looking at last night's winner. The Astros taking the series with Dallas Keuchel on the mound. He went 6 innings, allowed just 1 earned run, and after the game said he felt really good. He feels like he's in mid-season form. This is a guy who's missed a lot of the season with that neck discomfort and the pinch nerve he had earlier in the year. So good sign for him to start feeling this way. 5 days for him would be that Sunday game in Boston. That is still up in the air. A.J. Hinch has not made a decision on who's going to start these games. However, Dallas is going to stay with his routine just like he would be starting that Sunday, and then he'll adjust from there. But we'll see if he's used in that game. We'll see if he throws an extra bullpen. As you guys were just talking about, Verlander's going through somewhat of the same thing as they wait and see what's going to happen in Game 1 and Game 2 of the ALDS. Todd.
All right, Julia, Justin Verlander is in fact back out there for the 6th inning. He's got a run going of 13 out of 15 quality starts. And 6 innings is necessary for a quality start as he delivers a pitch to Mazzara, who sends a high fly ball to left field. Marwin waits for it and puts it away for out number 1. Last time he faced Texas was the only time in those string of 15 games where he allowed more than 3 runs. And since then, he has been lights out. Faced the White Sox back on August 25th and allowed only a couple of runs in 7 innings. That was after he shut down the Dodgers on 1 run in 8 innings. Then his last start as a Tiger in Colorado, 6 innings of 1-run baseball. So you add it all up, his last 3 starts with the Tigers, and now his first 5 starts with the Astros. And you're looking at 8 earned runs over 54 in the 3rd innings. That works out to a nifty 1.33 ERA in his final 9 starts of the season. That is closing strong heading into postseason baseball. Trying to go 7-0 in that stretch of now 9 starts since that last start against the Rangers. Inside for a ball, it's 2-1.
There's really not much you can add to what you're saying. The numbers are astounding and speak for themselves.
Verlander over 100 pitches, but again, he throws, other than Chris Sale, the most pitches per start of anybody. He's at 101 right now, averaging about 107 pitches per start. So I think Justin wanted to get through this inning. Liriano in the bullpen just in case Verlander had a high pitch count total in this inning. 2-2 to Joey Gallo, who has struck out twice. Verlander looking to match his season high with his 11th strikeout. Six hits for the Rangers today, 4 singles and a couple of solo home runs, accounting for their 2 runs. High fly ball into right field. Springer and Kemp. It's George Springer. As Kemp looks on and observes from center. And there's 2 away.
And heading into the playoff season with the Astros clinching that American League West, Justin Verlander is going to be a major part of it. Since 2011, Justin Verlander has had 12 starts in the postseason. He has had 6-3 record. The 2.70 ERA, that batting average against, is outstanding at 183. 89 punch-outs, 20 walks. Might be trying to get a little bit too fine going for the punch-outs in key situations, but a guy that you definitely want to see in your team's uniform, and the Astros are across that chest.
Knocked the A's out in back-to-back game 5s. You saw the towel waving, drum thumping fans in Oakland trying to get into the head of Justin Verlander, but it didn't work out. CG complete game in 2012 in game 5, 4-hit shutout, and then the 8 scoreless the following year in game 5.
I'll take it.
The Astros are thrilled to have number 35 on their side for this postseason run. It's all about timing. If you would have seen A.J. Hinch's team at points in August, you wouldn't think that they would be poised to make a run at the World Series, but the feeling is a lot different right now.
Well, it went from a team in August who won the West in April, May, June, July to a team that was going to limp into the playoffs. Now it is back to being that contending status for a World Series championship. And that was before the offense exploded like it did this week here in Arlington.
32 hits and 25 runs the last 2 games. And 36 runs in this 3-game series. Still have a few at bats to go. Verlander with a 1-2 count on Odor. Looking to finish off his outing with a flare. Instead, he bounces one in there for the 2nd straight pitch. It's 2-2. When Verlander's day is done, Brian McCann's day will probably be done, and A.J. may also elect to give other starters the final 3 innings off. We have seen him use his bench extensively in this series, with the Astros leading big in all 3. Odor has struck out and flied out to right. Odor has never had a hit against Verlander. He's 0 for 17 against Justin. He's also 0 for 17 in his current run. Justin trying to finish this off at 108 pitches. An extended battle. Season high 11 strikeouts came against the Mariners in June. And he strikes out his 11th today. Matches his season high as most as an Astro. And he will leave this game with an 11-2 lead with 6 strong innings in his final regular season start. Against the Rangers in a series in which the offense has exploded in this 3-game set. Winning the first game 11-2, winning last night 14-3. The combined numbers for the series, Blummer, are kind of off the charts.
Yeah, it's a little ridiculous what they came in here to do against these Texas Rangers. We knew that there was going to be a little bit of extra purpose considering some of the backstories, but these guys came out and just absolutely unleashed fury on this Rangers pitching staff. 10 doubles, 6 home runs. I mean, the batting average is great at 386, but the fact that they're doing so much damage with that is what's impressive.
Outscoring the Rangers in this final series of the Lone Star set this year, 36-7. And Tyler White will get a chance to pinch hit. Yuli Gurriel, the first of the starters to get the rest of the day off. White will lead off as a pinch hitter. Yuli went 1 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Austin Bibbins-Dirks, who finished off the 6th inning, will start the 7th. We saw Justin Verlander exchange hugs and handshakes after that last inning. His day is over. And an impressive month of September for Verlander comes to a close. He could be the American League Pitcher of the Month. 4 runs allowed in 34 innings. Today, a couple of solo home runs. Astros have never trailed in this game. Also struck out 43 in those 34 innings. So we'll see. Dallas Keuchel won Pitcher of the Month in April. Lance McCullers Jr. won Pitcher of the Month in May. Mike Fiers had quite a run in June. Perhaps the Astros will take home half of the Pitchers of the Month awards if Justin Verlander wins in September. And you could also be looking at Pitchers of the Month starting the first 3 games in the postseason. White behind in the count 0-2. Dallas Keuchel, a strong start in his final start last night. It's a pretty good combo to have in your dugout when you're thinking about October baseball.
You talking about Peacock and Keuchel?
Yep.
I knew it.
Brad Peacock. We're going to get to see Brad make his final start tomorrow. And I honestly am excited about that. I love watching him pitch.
We like watching him pitch.
We all love him.
Yeah. Kind of cheered for him right from the get-go just because of the story about him getting onto this Astro roster, and then he exploded out of the gates in that bullpen for A.J. Hinch, putting up great numbers and striking the world out. Moved into the rotation and continued to do it. Plus, he's probably the most likable guy in that clubhouse.
So humble. 12-2, could be 13-2, sub-3 ERA. He's going to face a Red Sox team tomorrow, and we'll see how long Dallas goes with him. But if he's a potential starter in the postseason, which we think he is, you don't want to see him maybe go 6 or 7 innings.
Well, he may be in a position to be back in Fenway Park pitching against that lineup in a more purposeful game.
AJ has to balance that out with also knowing I'm trying to win as many games as possible to catch Cleveland for the #1 seed. The Astros, they hold on today, will now be half a game behind the Indians. The Indians have 2 games between the end of the Astros game today and the Astros next game in Boston tomorrow night, because the Indians will play the Twins tonight and again tomorrow as the early game on the MLB slate. So it's possible if the Astros win today that they would go into that first game in Boston potentially with a lead if the Twins are able to win 2 more against Cleveland. How about Tony Kemp's day? 2 RBI base hits and now a 3rd consecutive hit into center field. Tony Kemp getting back-to-back starts, has been on base 6 times in those 2 games.
Someone's in on the action.
Somebody's bucking for a promotion. Derek Fisher knows roster spots are at a premium right now for the postseason as he gets a pinch hit here. Hitting for George Springer. George goes out on a grand slam. It's a nice way to end your day offensively. Springer went 2 for 4, 2 more runs scored, and 4 runs batted in on 1 swing. Astros with 18 hits last night, 15 hits today. Had a dozen hits in the first game of this series.
The 36 runs in this series are the most the Astros have scored in a 3-game series against the Texas Rangers. The record for runs in a 3-game series happened against the Minnesota Twins earlier this season with 40.
That was in the midst of an Astros 11-game winning streak that continued here in Texas when they swept the Rangers in Arlington. 2-1 the count.
And according to Evan Grant, beat writer for the Texas Rangers, the Rangers have never before allowed at least 11 runs in 3 consecutive games.
Ever.
Have never before.
Well, if you're a Rangers fan watching this series, I mean, coming in, you already knew the Astros had won the West. But now you're watching this series at 36-7, and I know today you're not seeing all the regulars for the Rangers. No Adrian Beltre, no Carlos Gomez, but you've got to be wondering, how far is that gap right now between the two teams from Texas? At least in this series, it's been a pretty large gap. Fisher pops up the 2-2 pitch. New third baseman Will Middlebrooks into the game this inning, makes the catch, and there's 2 away.
The Houston Astros have set up a website so that all fans can help raise much-needed funds for Hurricane Harvey relief. Visit ucaring.com/AstrosHarvey to donate today.
If I'm a Rangers fan sitting next to an Astros fan, I've had 2 years to trash talk, but this year not much to say.
Yeah, they've kind of ramped it up a little bit.
Alex Bregman bats. Alex sends one to the left center field. Pretty well hit. Calhoun on the run. We'll watch it bounce off the wall. Kemp with good speed will score easily. The Astros up to 12 runs now as Bregman drives in a run. Back-to-back hits for Bregman. He's now 2 for 5. And that total continues up to 37 runs on the 3-game series. Bregman staying in the game. He and Kemp staying in the game, but we have our third pinch hitter of the inning. J.D. Davis will hit for Jose Altuve. Altuve ended the day 1 for 4 with a couple of runs scored, and Jose reaching the 200 hit plateau for the 4th consecutive season. There are a lot of guys that have a lot to look back on and smile with this 3-game series in Texas. It will be one of the happiest flights ever.
This is great, and it keeps getting better. Some of the notes that I keep getting emailed to me. Mike Guccione, who works down in our truck. Gene Diaz is a good source who's been emailing some information. Evan Grant, we said, the beat writer for the Texas Rangers, supplying some of this information. And we just said that in a 3-game series, or 3 games in a row, that Rangers have never given up 11 runs in 3 straight games. This is the first time in Astros history that they have scored 11+ runs in 3 consecutive games. Just a historic offense.
Must be the Morales family that was here.
Hey, good things happen when family's around. Julia has been in a better mood.
She's always in a good mood.
Mom brought me presents.
What?
Yeah. Some candy.
For the flight?
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of happy flights.
Are you a sharer?
I knew that was coming.
It depends on the candy.
Should have told her to bring you some. You and
So only
Plummer
enough.
both.
Only enough for you.
No, I actually have way too much, so I'll share.
There's like a go-to that mom knows you love.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Mom's really big into seasons and holidays as well, so the candy usually goes with whatever's coming up. So it's fall candy. Didn't the season change just recently?
It did.
Can't tell, but
Only by calendar date, not so much by weather.
Oh, the season's going to change on this flight.
Yes.
I also heard a front came through at some point the last day or two. You guys feel it? Texas.
Take your word for it.
Texas weather.
I think the front was the Astros offense.
Yeah.
They have changed some things here at Globe Life Park. 12-2 today, 11-2 Monday, and 14-3 last night. Who knew 11-2 would be the smallest margin in this series in Game 1? J.D. Davis bats with a 2-2 count and takes a pitch inside and down, and now the count's full. We've seen 3 pinch hitters in this inning. One guy who is on deck and wants to get another AB today potentially is Carlos Correa. He has never had a 5-hit game in his career. He is 4 for 4 with a single, a double, and 2 home runs. Correa's 5th career 4-hit game today. He won't get a chance in this inning as Davis goes down swinging. But the Astros tack on another. It's a 12-2 game.
Quite nicely, had himself a good afternoon here at Globe Life Park. He went 6 strong, allowing 6 hits, 2 earned runs. The best number for me in this time with the Houston Astros is the strikeout to walk ratio. He has 43 punch-outs, 5 walks in that Astros blue and orange. It has been a successful start to his career with the Astros, looking to push his way into the postseason. Talked about those 6 innings he threw today. Fastball, slider, curveball, a couple of changeups. 11 punch-outs. Ties the season high. 0 walks in this ball game today for Justin Verlander.
Those look like pitcher of the month numbers to me.
They better be. I don't know who else is out there doing a better job.
New pitcher with all these lefties in the lineup is the left-hander Francisco Liriano. Really, Calhoun was the one guy, along with Elvis Andrus, had some success against Verlander. Calhoun hit his first major league home run, also singled into center field. We've seen Liriano do much better as the season has continued. He was acquired at the trade deadline at the end of July and struggled out of the bullpen early in his Astros career. But lately, this has become a guy that you can really count on. He's throwing strikes, and I think that's a big part of it.
Yeah, I'm not sure what was going on when he first got traded over, but he went from the starting rotation to the bullpen. I don't know if that messed with his routine or his arm angles or delivery, but it was a real issue early on. He was well out of the zone. Walks had been the bane of his existence as the Astro, as he became an Astro, and then gave up some big hits. But here recently, like you're saying, has been much better. And it really kind of started out in Seattle when A.J. Hinch used him primarily against left-handed hitters. And it looked like that's what his role is going to be here in the postseason.
He faced Kyle Seager as the lone batter in 2 different games in that series. And you're right, that seemed to trigger something because he got him out both times. And then 7 of his 8 outings since in September have been scoreless.
And as long as Liriano has been in the league, he is a veteran, that is for sure. But I think what A.J. did in allowing him to go out there, face the one hitter, and get him out of the game is that he takes that good vibe, that confidence with him, knowing that he had a successful outing, and that confidence adds up.
And you're hoping it's one of those trades that ends up helping out the Astros postseason, and it also could be a trade that the Blue Jays are happy with, because Teoscar Hernandez is doing some things in Toronto this month that are off the charts.
Yeah, I had a chance in the media dining room to talk to Jim Beattie a little bit, who was the GM and worked with the Expos when I first got called up. So there's a little bit of a history there, but he literally came out of his way to come talk to me about Teoscar Hernandez and said, what do you have on this guy? And did you see this kind of happening with Teoscar? And I said, I knew he was a good ball player, but I didn't anticipate him being as successful, quick as he has been with the Toronto Blue Jays. And point blank asked me, he goes, was he a fourth outfielder? Is that how the Astros envisioned him? And I think that's how they envisioned him. But you also got to look at the organization. I think with the Astros, he's a fourth outfielder because of the Tony Kemps, the Derek Fishers, the Kyle Tuckers who are coming along. So that might have been his role. But now with new life in Toronto, he's lighting it up.
Yeah, it's opportunity a lot of times for those guys. And not sure if Teoscar would have ever had the regular bats here with Houston with this star-studded young team. Here's a ground ball towards the right side. 3 ground balls to the right side, and Francisco Liriano has another strong inning out of the bullpen. That's now 8 out of 9 scoreless appearances in September. Today, this guy hit one down the line and left. That was followed up by a 4 spot by number 4. 4th grand slam of his career. And not to be outdone, Carlos Correa again. It's been a fun day watching this offense.
Oh, it's been incredible. These guys coming around. Plenty of love. These guys know how special they are when the bats are going good.
And now a chance for Correa for his first 5-hit game. He's also a triple shy of the cycle as he takes a called strike. Facing Keone Kela, the new pitcher for the Rangers.
It's not often you have a chance to do something and go back to Jose Altuve and say, you've never done this, and that's a 5-hit game.
I was looking at that before the note.
Or you would look at it.
Before the game. You look at it. Before the game in the notes, I was looking. There's only one active player, something you've done, with a 5-hit game. Only that guy to the right of Jose Altuve is the only guy on the Astros roster,
Cam,
that has a 5-hit game.
And we had to trade to get him. We had to trade to get that 5-hit game.
Oh, Springer does too. I missed one. Springer has a 5-hit game. And now Correa trying to join that group. June 10th, 2015 at the White Sox. George Springer had a 5-hit game.
That was a memorable series just in the fact that that's when Carlos Correa showed up. Carlos Correa in that series got his first hit and first home run of his big league career.
Down and in, 3-2. You know, if the pitch is close, Carlos is going to take a hack here.
Got to throw him a strike.
He'll probably be pinch run for. And just give him one more at bat for the potential cycle and a potential 5-hit game. A lot of the other starters are out of this game. He does take a hack, and he misses. May have foul tipped it, but it was caught by the catcher, Nicholas. And for the first time today, and only the third time in the last 2 games, Correa retired. He had been 8 for his last 10 in those 2 games.
That's okay.
And now Colin Moran will pinch it. 7 for 9 and 7 for 10. He had a huge series. What a series he had. Marwin had a huge series. Springer had a huge series. Can't score 37 runs without all your guys contributing. We've seen Colin Moran in all 3 of these games. We weren't sure if we were going to see Colin Moran the rest of the year. After suffering facial fractures, fouling a pitch in Baltimore off that face, off the cheekbone. Moran worked his way back, played for Quad Cities in the postseason playoffs in the minor league level, and now getting some at-bats at the big league level.
Talk about no fear. Watch when he's just to battle back and step in the box. Watch where he sets up. He's still leaning out over that inside corner.
Slices one the other way.
And he really didn't have a traditional rehab assignment as far as getting some ABs. He's pretty much doing it right here at the big league level, getting some of these ABs against some tough pitchers.
On the ground, only guy on that left side is Middlebrooks. He'll make the play for out number 2. McKellar has come in and retired the first 2 he has faced. Are you following AT&T Sportsnet on social media? From player and team stats to trivia and behind-the-scenes photos, find us on Facebook and Twitter for the latest on the Astros all season long. Max Stassi will get his first at bat. He came on as a defensive replacement. Brian McCann leaving the game when Justin Verlander left the game. Very similar to last night when B-Mac left after Dallas Keuchel left the game. And Stassi will bat with 2 outs and nobody on. We are heading down the home stretch, partner. Just 1 series to go. It's been a fun year. It's been a fun series. Astros still with a shot at 100 wins.
Love it. Keep pushing. It's our last broadcast in the state of Texas. Sorry. So I'm going to look for some tissue. Todd looked a little upset at me.
Now you got me up.
Yeah, sorry. Here you go. Yep.
Something that we'll talk about next inning. Pop up in the shallow left. Andrews is there. And a 1-2-3 inning for Kella out of the Rangers bullpen. We head to the bottom of the 8th. 12-2.
Season. Purchase now and reap early benefits like guaranteed 2017 postseason priority access. For more info, visit astros.com/season tickets or call 1-877-9-ASTROS. Wow. It's a pretty aggressive move on a day like this.
With the sunglasses.
You got to protect the Josh Hamiltons on these sunny days, man. Gets a little intense, tough to see. It's good ocular awareness.
Here's Luke Gregerson. 64th game of the year.
Doing a good job trying to eat up this inning for the Houston Astros.
My question in my mind is, was that fan wearing that mask for the entire game?
Good. I don't know.
It's a 3-hour game, and it hasn't exactly been a comfortable day. It's not stifling hot, but I can't imagine in that mask it's comfortable.
No.
Gregerson faces the top of the order. Delino DeShields still in the game. You know who's still in the game? The 23-year-olds in the middle of the infield.
Yep.
Ooh, he's got,
man,
strong sock game too.
Can't go halfway.
No.
Got to go all the way.
That is commitment to an outfit for a ball game. Into right field, and that's going to fall in for a base hit. Not hit hard by DeShields, but he lobs a single into right. He has 2 hits and 4 at bats. Fun fact, Plummer.
First time in franchise history. Talked about it. Tallying 11 or more runs in 3 straight games. The more you know. PSA brought to you by the Astros.
Do you think this season, filled with record-breaking performances by the Astros, it's off the charts. They're going to have to get a new postseason media guide with just the records this team's setting. But do you think this season could have gone any better from a Rangers versus Astros perspective after the last couple of seasons?
Maybe getting those Tampa Bay home games at home would be a bonus, but no. I mean, after what the Astros have gone through here against the Rangers and here in Arlington, the statement they've made here in September with that last series in Arlington is tremendous. You know, that goes a long way, and that's going to linger not only in the Rangers' minds, but it's going to linger in the Astros' minds too. It's a good feeling to have linger.
If you're the Rangers and you look out on the field and see what this team has done to you in the series and then realize nobody's leaving.
Well, I was just going to say, and you look out there and you're going to see the same faces next year with the addition of facing Verlander maybe a couple more times.
It cannot be a good feeling right now, and the Astros dealt with that feeling the last couple of years going head-to-head with the Rangers. But this series has been just a stamp to what has been an Astros-dominated year, trying to win the 12th time in 19 games and leading 37-7 in this series. Two fouls went away. It's 2-2.
And the Rangers had that postseason push, and that you're starting to see some of those guys fall off the payroll and become free agents. Yu Darvish is already gone.
Yep.
It could be a different look in that Ranger dugout and clubhouse.
Well, that was the other angle I was going to head towards. Is you're looking at an Astros team that's very young. There's some veterans sprinkled in there, but in terms of young stars, the Astros have them. In fact, 2 of them are right here in the double play, Bregman and Correa, as they turn 2. When you're 23 years old, you keep playing in a 12-2 game. At least that's what A.J. Hinch is saying, because Correa and Bregman are out there. All the other starters, with the exception of Tony Kemp, have left the game. Bregman played the whole game last night, too.
You got a little bit of that first game off, right? He was one of the guys that came out early.
Yeah, Marwin played the whole first game. Here's Andrews. Tough day for Chu. 3 strikeouts and a double play. Andrews fouls one back. It was Verlander for 6. He allowed just a couple of solo home runs. Francisco Liriano with another strong outing. A 1-2-3 inning facing 3 left-handed hitters. And now Luke Gregerson in the 8th. And Luke is going to end up facing 3 batters as Correa makes the play to get Andrews to end the 8th inning. We head to the 9th. Final inning in Texas of the season, and it's 12-2.
Here in Arlington, and time to reveal the results of today's Chevy Stroh poll. I want to thank everyone for voting and, of course, following us on Twitter at ATT Sports Net SW. Jose Altuve, being the single in the first, now has 1,246. How many hits do you think he's going to have by the end of his career? Oh my goodness, it's close. 37% though are saying 3,000 plus. Man, Altuve is going to be a 3,000 hit player. I think there was one vote for 5,000. Yep. That was the guy upstairs.
I'm in. He's going to do it. I'm going to be cheering the entire way.
Hey, Julia.
Hey, TK.
We tried to find out who you're going to interview post-game in the first game of the series, and you had some choices.
I'm stressing.
But, well, Correa's still in the game. Just as a teaser, do you know who you might go after as a post-game?
That's one option.
Okay.
Yes. We'll see what Springer's up to.
Is he still hanging out? He never leaves the dugout, does he?
Right, no, and I was looking for him earlier.
Oh, yeah, I see him. He's next to Maben.
Oh, okay. Got it.
And Reddick over there. By the way, Josh just getting the series off, just really being cautious. He could have played if the games were a little more significant. But AJ saying, you know what, we play him in Boston, former Red Sox. Let him have this series off, so we should see Josh back in the lineup tomorrow night. New pitcher on the mound, Jake Diekman. Carlos Beltran still in there as a DH, batting right-handed for the first time today. He's 1 for 4 as a lefty. Carlos tried to hold up, but he goes around. Out number 1 in the 9th. Tyler White will get his second at-bat. I'm looking at the dugout, and the guys could be back on the bench that I don't see, but I think of all the guys that have come out of the game, most of them take it to the clubhouse, but George is always, he's always out there. You never, there he is, right side of your screen. He's just hanging out. I see Lance, I see the Maven. These guys didn't play today. Peacock didn't play today. Morton didn't play today.
Springer doesn't hang out. He chews on people's ears.
All these guys are either in the game or didn't play. Springer's the one guy, he plays the game. Taken out. I'm not leaving.
He's a people person.
He is. We saw that last night. We see it tonight. And it gives Julian another option for a post-game interview. Hitting a grand slam today.
No, this day and age, that is a rarity to have a guy hanging on the bench for that long, especially after they've been taken out of a game.
Altuve's back there chilling. Yuli, McCann. George's like, I'm staying out here.
That's where the show's at.
It has been a show this series.
Man.
12 hits on Monday, 18 hits last night, 16 more today. 46 hits and 37 runs, outscoring the Rangers by 30. Tyler White, little punch shot, inside out swing. Joey Gallo makes the play. Well, Diekman has come back and out of the bullpen, retired the first two he has faced. Most popular way to follow the Astros postseason push is MLB.com at bat. The #1 app for live baseball. Enjoy game day, video highlights, StatCast, news, and more. Download MLB.com at bat today. Now Lance wants to hear from George. He's moved over to join the conversation. Julia's still searching for potential guests. Tony Kemp's a candidate. Three straight hits. He's been on base 6 times in 2 games.
Give you a good sound bite.
Coming into this series, I'm not sure if Kemp was a favorite for a roster spot, but he's certainly making a strong bid. Now facing a lefty, down in the count 0-2. He started against the lefty last night, Cole Hamels. Tony played left field last night, playing center field today. 2 RBI singles, also 2 runs scored today. 3 hits overall. And he puts one on the ground. Played there by Goslin, who just ended the game for the final out of the top of the 9th. We head to the bottom of the 9th. All Astros. Sportsnet is presented by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. By Jack in the Box. Come try the new really big chicken sandwich combo for just $3.99 for a limited time only. And by Toyota. Let's go places. Astros heading to their 50th win on the road this season. That will be a new franchise record. They have never won 50 road games prior in their first 55 seasons. They will also win their 50th game in the division. And that's a chance to be the most for any team within their division this season. In this 12-2 game, the Astros turn to Tony Sipp to try and get the final 3 outs.
Tony made his 44th appearance in this series, pitching on the 25th. Back in there tonight, or this afternoon. It's been a pretty long game. I apologize. Holding lefties down to that 246 average.
And he will face all lefties. Actually, Middlebrook's in the game now, so they don't have the 6 consecutive left-hand hitters they did at one point in this game. But Mazara and Gallo, the first 2 that Sipp will face, are lefties. Astros with 12 runs today, 14 runs yesterday, and 11 on Monday night, scoring 11 runs in 3 consecutive games for the first time in team history. And with a win, they'll be a half game behind the Indians for the best record in the American League. Go Twins tonight.
Yeah, some to watch tonight.
Twins had a really impressive win last night, down 6-4. Brian Dozier hitting a 3-run home run in the 8th inning, and eventually the Twins would win 8-6. The Twins have a lot to play for tonight. They're trying to wrap up the final wild card spot. And those 2 teams will wrap up the series tomorrow afternoon. But we'll see where the Astros are at the start of that 4-game set with Boston. Sipp strikes out Mazara, who's now 0 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts. First out of the 9th. I'll bring up Joey Gallo. Astros trying to play 4 across on the right side, but J.D. Davis just wasn't sure where he was supposed to be. Correa was directing him. Gary Pettis was directing him.
Saw the same thing. Finally, Rich Dower jumped up there. They're going, no, seriously, the other side of the bag.
And he's like, where did we play that way before? Never really played. He's like, that side?
Keep going, kid. Keep going.
Keep going. Keep going.
Waving him.
Keep going.
Yep, get in front of the umpire.
Right there.
Okay, now we're good.
Yep. Pitch down and away. It's 1-1. 4 on the right side.
And you got your 7 out there and your 8-9. I mean, good grief.
Wow. And he puts one on the right side into the shift. Bregman is there from shallow right. Joey Gallo's not going to enjoy seeing that defense very much. And there's 2 away in the 9th. Oh, A.J. Hinch and the Astros 1 out away from sweeping the series and making a strong statement heading into the final series of the season against the Red Sox, outscoring the Rangers 37-7. Will Middlebrooks takes a pitch outside for a ball. .46 hits, 37 runs in this series. If only Altuve contributed more. He had 2 hits out of the 46.
Lousy.
Dragging the offense down, that 200 hit guy.
Oh, boy.
1-1 pitch bounces up there. It's 2-1.
How did Stassi catch that ball? That was impressive.
Ball's hit hard, and the game stays alive as Middlebrooks in his first AB ropes the ball into left center field for a double. Sip retiring the two lefties. Middlebrooks with a base hit. Now faced another lefty in Willie Calhoun. Astros fly to Boston after the game today. 4-game series with the Red Sox. We know the starting pitchers for the first 2 games of that series. Both will be 6:10 Central starts. We'll be on the air at 5:30 with our Astros pregame show. Brad Peacock starts tomorrow against one of the Red Sox lefties, Eduardo Rodriguez, and then Charlie Morton starts Friday against the former Astro Doug Fister. Who starts for the Astros Saturday and Sunday is to be determined. There's a pickoff and the game's over. Middlebrooks picked off to end the game at second base as Correa snuck in behind him. And that is one way to end what has been a dominating series for the Astros. 12-2 is the final score. 37 runs, second most in team history. The record was set earlier this year in a 40-run performance in a 3-game series in Minnesota.
Time now for our player of the game. There are many to choose from, but today was Carlos Correa's day. Brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. 4 for 5, 2 home runs, a double, 4 RBIs. In the series on that bottom line, you see 7 for 15 with 7 RBIs in the series against the Texas Rangers. A statement series for the Houston Astros to finish off the series matchup against these Texas Rangers, and also trying to get those bats going before they head into the postseason.
With the win, the Astros up to 98 W's on the year. That's the second most in